All right, thank you so much. We are here in the Cisco TV studio on the World of Solutions show floor, and we're talking with Jonathan Rosenberg.
Hello.
Jonathan, so glad to have you with us today.
My pleasure to be here, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Right.
Jonathan is VP CTO of Collaboration with us here at Cisco. You are a voice over IP pioneer. You are a 17-year industry veteran. Your technologies, your vision, they've really created the foundation of modern IP telecoms. Jonathan is a developer, he's an architect, he's an inventor, you are an innovation champion. I'm going on and on, right?
Oh my goodness.
Only because you deserve it, but it's all about this great
you.
expertise, and you've invented a lot of the core technologies for voice over IP that we know. You've been SIP, Simple, ICE, you've got over 50 US patents, you advise startups, so you're the perfect person to be talking to here. This is a really exciting time in collaboration, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, we really believe work as we know it today, it is entering this transformation as companies are moving to digitize their business processes. So let's start off by talking about the trends that you see, that you think are going to shape the future of work in 2018.
Exactly. So there's lots of trends happening that are really going to change things. One of the ones actually we're really excited about is artificial intelligence and machine learning. And we're not the only people talking about it. But what's exciting is actually how it's going to change the workplace. And that's something that actually not a lot of other people are talking about. The focus is about self-driving cars and ordering pizza from your Alexa assistant, and that's all great. But we're excited about how it's going to change work. And the role we see it playing in the workplace is to sort of be almost a virtual assistant, a member of your team, that trusted team member who gets stuff done for you, who provides you for information and content and helps your work move along much faster and takes away the drudgery. So we're investing in doing that, and we think it's going to be a dramatic shift in how people get their work done and just allow them to, frankly, focus on the work. Focus on collaborating together and not like, oh, where did I leave that slide deck? I don't know, let me go find it on my computer. I mean, that's the kind of stuff where artificial intelligence is going to be able to really help us out. It's
a really interesting way to look at it, and I want to come back to AI and ML, and I want to talk about it in more detail, but I love what you say there, that this is a much more holistic vision, right? It is literally changing the way we work and collaborate with one another. These are big shifts. How do you think collaboration tools are evolving along with the industry? We need those tools to help drive that change, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there also we're seeing like monumental shifts, right? This is one of the most exciting times to be in the collaboration business with all these things happening. So one of the ways in which the tools are changing is they're moving towards this new team collaboration or workspace collaboration model. And that's following a trend in how people work together, which is at the workplace, things used to be very hierarchical and rigid. And you had a meeting with your staff on Mondays, and that was it. And if you had to talk to someone else, you'd write the formal email, you know, dear Mr. Kaplan, good to see you. And it's like, and it was this rigidity that was created. What's happening in the workplace is people are more informal. They're forming ad hoc teams, get experts together regardless of the lines of reporting and hierarchy, regardless of even company boundaries. You know, people form work teams with consultants and colleagues that work in other companies, and so the tools have had to evolve to allow us to work more informally, to connect with everyone in the company and everyone outside of my company that I need to work with in an easy way. And so that workplace transformation has led to this tool shift, where we're moving more and more out of email and rigid meetings into more informal, persistent group chat that frankly takes a cue from consumer, right? The consumer world moved on from email, right? I don't know about you, but my kids don't email.
No, not a chance. No, if you email, they get angry at you.
Yeah, exactly. There's like, what's that? You know? So they've gone on to chat, you know, WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger and these kind of things, and the workplace is now following that exact same trend with these tools.
It's exciting because it's about the people as much as it's about the industry itself, right?
Yes.
Because they're really one and the same. So when we talk about this idea of team collaboration, which frankly is where we should have always been, right? The team collaboration market, again, as you say, we're seeing it heat up. Vendors are coming into the game. Let's talk about Cisco Spark.
Sure.
What is different with Spark compared to other team collaboration tools that you're seeing out there driving the market?
Right. Tons of differences. The ones I like to talk about the most, first and foremost, is actually security.
Okay.
And this is another thing that's dramatically changing. Not that people haven't cared about security, but I think it's more front and center than it's ever been before. The cloud has created this new breed of threats, frankly. Like you get these cloud players and they have like hundreds of millions of records of user data and someone compromises it, and it's this huge breach. Right, so as the industry transitions to cloud, you get these big cloud providers who are like a gold mine for the bad guys. You want to go and get their data. And so we discovered that new tools are needed to secure this. So we built this groundbreaking end-to-end security model into Spark, And what it does, in short, is like if the bad guy comes and steals all the data from our cloud, they still can't see anything. So, so that's one of the big differences that we have against the competitors. The second big difference I like to talk about is that it integrates great with hardware. And this is something Cisco, I guess unsurprisingly, really believes in, is we believe in the combination of software and hardware delivers great experiences. And so we've made Cisco Spark work with our video conferencing systems. We built the Cisco Spark board as a literal hardware manifestation of the content and experience that Cisco Spark brings on the desktop.
So it's a combination of demand that's coming in from the industry plus where we're logically going in this transition to digitization. And the security element, I'm glad that you brought that up because we always want to talk about the technology. That's the sexy part, right?
Yes.
The security side, not the sexy part, but boy, you want to talk about, we're not going to be able to make anything work without making sure that it is secure at every step of the process. So security is as equal as teamwork, really.
Absolutely. And that's the hard part, is doing the two of them in tandem, actually. That was the real challenge. How do you deliver a great user experience, yet in a way that has all these security properties that make it work? That's the challenge.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. We talked about AI, we talked about ML a couple of moments ago on the machine learning part. Let's sort of dive into a little bit more of that. What is going to bring the mainstream?
What is going to bring the mainstream is use cases that people care about, right? People at the end don't care about, oh, it's ML, I'm excited about it. I mean, nobody says that, right? They get excited about it when it solves real problems for them. And in the consumer world, it's getting successful because it works, and it solves, well, in many ways, little problems. I don't know what you do with mine. I have Alexa in my house. It turns the lights on, and it answers a question about, who is the guy in that movie? You know, it's really good for those.
Plays our music.
It plays music, exactly, little stuff like that. So in the workplace, those aren't the considerations, actually. So again, what is it that it's going to do for you in the workplace? But and at the end, that's what matters. And for us, it's about automating these tasks, you know, starting a meeting for me, giving access to content, connecting me with people, right? When it becomes a useful virtual team member, that's when it's going to really see adoption.
Let me ask you, what do you think on the Cisco side of it? How much of it is about storytelling? Instead of just explaining the technology, and here's what you can do, we're helping to build it, we're helping to create it along with our partners, the service providers that we work with, how much of it is telling a good story to get people excited so they join the train?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. I mean, that's what resonates with people. Like I said, people don't care about how it works or what its features are or whatever. They want to know, they want to see themselves in a story. Oh yeah, I can see myself doing that, and that would be good for me. That would make my pain go away. That would make my life easier, right? And that's all about storytelling. When they hear that and they can visualize themselves in it, that's what gets them excited about the technology.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I want to just get your personal take. We've been talking about all these great capabilities. We are already underway here with the show. What are you incredibly excited about seeing here on the show floor? What do you think are the things that are going to make Jonathan Rosenberg particularly engaged, where you're going to look around and say, yes, that's the story that we want to be telling here at this event and beyond?
There's a ton of them to talk about.
Where to begin?
Where to begin? I guess one of the ones I think that we're really excited about and is the continued rise, but real rise of video. And I know we've been saying that for a while. I get this a lot. Jonathan, come on.
Exactly.
I mean, this is Cisco. You've been saying
John was talking about this years ago.
No, really, this year. So, okay, but now I'll give you some reasons why I'm optimistic. About the technology really taking off. First of all, we're seeing results. I mean, it's been growing really well. It's a business that for a while, I think internally we're like, I don't know, maybe it hit its peak, but it's on fire. And the reason is that, frankly, cloud is taking this technology, which used to be expensive and difficult, and it's making it easy, right? And when that happens, that unlocks new markets. So, you know, now a company can deploy video and they don't need to put on servers on-prem. They can just literally plug the Spark board in, put it in access code, and be up and running, and it just works, right? And that's when we didn't have that last year, okay? So this unlocks, we think, enormous growth, and we've gotten the cost down in the same way. People look at the thing like, holy cow, are you kidding me? Like, that's a Cisco price tag? I can't believe it. So the costs are at an affordable place, and the technology is easy to use. And so we're excited about it, and what it delivers ultimately. And why do we get excited about video? It's not just because we like to sell more of this stuff. It's the transformative experience it has in the workplace. And the biggest thing it does, and let me speak personally about this if I can for a moment. So people don't know this, but I'm a remote worker. I don't work in a Cisco office. I actually work out of my house. And I'm the CTO for the collaboration group, and I do created all this vision and product strategy for the business at home. How did I do that? The only reason I was able to do that was we have a culture of video. every meeting I have, everyone's on video. And because of that, like, I can interact in the same natural way I was in an office because I have video too. So when you get to this nirvana of truly an immersive video everywhere, like the whole idea of placism, that you have to be in the place to be effective, it ends.
Very, very cool. So we're going to see a lot of that here in a Create Such meeting. Jonathan, I wish we could talk to each other all day, but I'm so glad we had this opportunity to sit down with one another.
My pleasure.
Thank you. We're looking forward to hearing from you throughout the week. Thanks again to all of you as well for tuning in. We'll see you throughout the week here too. Bye-bye.
Right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Cisco TV live studio coming at you from the World of Solutions show floor here in Barcelona. I've got OJ Vinga here in the room with me. You're a Senior VP, GM of Team Collaboration Group here at Cisco, and we're going to spend the next few minutes talking about how people bring their teams together using Cisco Collaboration. So I'm so glad to have you with me here today.
It's great to be here.
Glad. All right, so bottom line, we're in a new economy, right, that we're living in, that we're working in. Teams have got to have a new approach, a new way of getting things done. And what really excites me about what we're doing at Cisco, it's a complete package, it's comprehensive, it's not a piecemeal experience, it really spans across time, space, devices, and we got to this point how? We listen to our customers, right? And our partners. So how do you see the changing nature of teams? How are they shaping and influencing what we do at Cisco?
It's very, very funny to work where I do at the moment, right? Because one could argue that I'm not working with technology anymore. We are working with people because we are working with the technologies that impacts people in their daily lives, basically. And there is no doubt that there's been a tremendous change over the last decade in our industry. And I think you could argue all of us had it a little bit wrong in the early days because we were trying to jam all the old technologies into what was called unified communications. And the reality of that was that it was nice from a technology perspective, not so nice from a people perspective in terms of what do you really use. So what we are seeing today is a total shift in how people work, basically, and kind of how they conduct their work. It's also interesting to see that it's not longer a technology type of agenda, it's way more of a CEO type of agenda inside of the organization. So at this point of time, I think it was last year, CEOs said that 3 out of 4 CEOs said that there was a disruption happening inside of their industry. There was a disruption happening with their business model. And what they're turning to now is that how do you support that disruption? And something which has been close to a software developer's mind around agile development and agile software team has not necessarily been that close to a CEO's agenda in terms of creating an agile organization. But that is very much what we are hearing from our customers today, that kind of how can we help them with our technology and our understanding on human behavior, creating an agile organization. And kind of org design and kind of work design becomes top of mind.
Absolutely. So do you see the evolution really as being a mirroring of the industry that is surrounding us? Here at Cisco, partnerships are so vital to us, listening to our customers and what they have to say. That agility, does it come from responding to demand, or do you think we're creating it from within Cisco?
I think it comes from a couple of different forces. I think it comes from a younger group of people entering work life with a total different mindset and a total different way of behaving and communicating with each other. I think it comes from us in Cisco because we live in an industry where we have been dependent on partners on the sales and service and customer care type of arena. At the same time, we've been depending on partners on the supply chain and manufacturing arena. So we have been very accustomed to the fact that we are not working only inside of Cisco, but we're actually working with a broad set of partners which we need to communicate and collaborate with in order to drive our technology to the market.
It's a global challenge and it requires a global response from a global company like Cisco that can pull it off. If we look at these latest technology innovations, things like AI, machine learning, they are already doing so much to enhance the collaboration experience today, but when we look at the future, right, the potential, the possibilities, I mean, this is so expansive, it's so exciting. Let's talk a little bit about where those things are going.
So if you look at meetings today, right, and which is a core part of our business, it's almost sad to understand that I think it's 94% of people thinks that meetings are dreadful. Mm-hmm. I think people say that almost half of the meetings are useless as of today, which is a bad state to be in, not for a global economy, you could argue, thinking about the time that goes on to it. And I think that AI, machine learning, those type of technologies can make make big differences into meeting, taking away those dreadful tasks that no one wants to do, right? Taking away those elements of the meetings and of our work, you could argue, that kind of are boring, that people don't want to do. Making sure that people are more prepared as they come to the meeting, making sure that there are notes taken of the meeting so you could go back and kind of listen to or look into kind of what was really happening. So I think that AI, machine learning, will kind of play a significant role as we are moving forward into making meetings better, into making meetings more productive. But potentially the most important thing, I would argue, is to allow us as humans to focus on where we are best, which is around creativity and around innovations. Machines are great for kind of the repetitive tasks, the boring tasks, but humans are superior with regards to innovating and being creative.
Actually, this is exactly the point that I wanted to get to. We always like to focus on it from the technology perspective, and we're very proud. Every time we develop a great new capability, that's what they're out there touting. This is all about making humans better at what they naturally do. And if you look at it from that team collaboration perspective, how lovely to free up that time to allow a team to really achieve greater goals, greater targets, greater deliveries for their companies, and the machine is a tool that happens hopefully in the background, right?
Exactly. There's no doubt that the humans will win, in my mind. Kind of when people are kind of afraid around these type of technologies, I'm confident that kind of the humans will win. And if you're taking this as a battle, I don't see it as a battle. I see it way more as a complementary technology that enhances our society, basically, that kind of makes our lives easier and enables us, as you said, to focus on the real core of what we would like to do, right?
Why? Why are we creating these capabilities? When we look at machine learning and we look at it sort of in a broader picture, it's starting to focus more and more heavily on things like video, right? We're seeing the whole thing working in video. Everything we talk about now is video, video, video. How does machine learning affect that? Tracking engagement in meetings, one of the things you were talking about. I'm sure you could come up with 20 examples of how it's affecting greater video delivery.
There is no doubt about that. I think kind of what we kind of, a couple of, I would say, stupid but kind of nice features that we are already delivering in our products is the face recognition features. To be able of, first of all, counting the number of people inside of the meeting so that facility managers around the world can say that kind of, you know what, there's a meeting room for 16 people and kind of on average we are only 4 in that meeting room and we are out of meeting rooms, perhaps kind of we divide up and create smaller meeting rooms. Secondly, by facial recognition, in large organizations, you are sometimes embarrassed with the fact that you don't know the name of the people that you are meeting, right? With the facial recognition kind of combined with the corporate directory, we are able of putting labels under the people participating in the meeting, which I think is kind of those small today type of features which makes a significant difference, right? But over time and kind of as this evolves, there is no doubt that kind of the machine will be able, machine learning will be able of giving us way more insights into the meetings. Kind of what is it that makes a productive meeting? What is it that makes kind of an engaged meeting? Kind of who are engaged in the meeting and who are not engaged in the meeting?
Absolutely.
And kind of giving us ability to kind of search and explore and get more data out of today what is an everyday meeting.
All right, so last thing that I want to talk about before we wrap this up, because we're getting a little tight on time. Let's say you're a CIO, and you're putting together your priority list, your wish list, right, in terms of what is the latest collaboration technology available to me, how can I actually implement it for my teams within my organization, my IT, what needs to be at the very top of that CIO's priority list?
I'm happy to say that this has evolved quite a lot over the last couple of years to what I would say is the way better. It used to be a lot of tick boxes on features, but I think more and more CIOs has realized the fact that it doesn't help to have the 480 features if our users are not able of leveraging this technology, right? And I think kind of what is on top of mind these days is the usability around it. Kind of how is it? How do we make it usability for the majority of our organization? How do we secure that more people inside of the organization adopt it and making a delightful user experience out of these tools? I think that is getting more and more top of mind for CIOs, and I think that is a very, very good thing for Cisco because that's definitely something we excel at.
Not just technology, but practicality as well. We've got under a minute. I need to end by asking you something. OJ Vinge, there's something behind that name. Tell me what it means. What is the OJ, first of all?
So this is a name that has been destroyed in the multiple ways, I would argue. The reality about OJ is that it's Odd Johnny.
Odd
And I
Johnny.
mean it, O-D-D Johnny, right?
Is there a derivation of odd that we need to know about here?
From the Norwegian culture and the Viking culture, Odd is actually the edge of the arrow, and was a name given to very brave Vikings. So that is the reason, that is a way better story about the name, right?
Can we call you very brave Viking, Cisco superstar? There's got to be something that we can tie the OJ into. Although I do love Odd Johnny, it could just be Odd Johnny of Cisco.
We had also the incident in the US, which makes OJ more difficult, right?
Sure, well that is challenging. You don't own a white Bronco, do you?
No, I don't.
No, perfect.
And that glove doesn't fit.
OJ, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. This has been great. We're going to see you here around the show floor, but really exciting stuff in team collaboration.